everyone. Today I'm going to be doing some finger painting with you. This will be different types of techniques, and I'm going to show you how to do little animals, which is very basic and simple. And I'll also be showing you different flower techniques as well. So here are some examples that I have done before. So these are all the flower sort of techniques that I've done. And then these are just a few examples of different animals that you can do as well. And I just thought I'd show you my little socks today. Today I have got cat socks on that look like Ziggy. So just thought I'd share that with you. Hope everyone is doing okay at home. You won't need much for this tutorial today. All you really need is some pens. I've got my favourite Sharpies over here, so you can do different colours, and some paints. So whether that be acrylic or poster paint, that doesn't really matter. You just need to make sure that the consistency is okay of the when you put the paint out. So I am leaning down a bit so they've got a good view of the table as well. I did get some water. Actually, I'm just going to go grab some toilet roll as well, or not toilet roll, kitchen roll, because it can get a little bit messy. You are using your fingers, so if you need to wipe them, I'm going to grab some tissue. Just be back in one sec. Ta-da! You don't need the whole roll, obviously, and I promise you I'm not hoarding, but I just thought I'd bring it all through just in case. One should be enough. So first of all, I'm going to show you how you can do the little animals, because to do the animals you need to use the paint and then you need to make it dry for, well, not make it dry, it needs to dry, and then you can put your pen over the top of it after that. So I always use these takeaway lids for palettes. Oh, it's got water all over it. Turn that round and make sure that if you are using a table that you put some safety on it. So I've got my paper here, because my fiance would kill me if I got paint onto the table. Also be careful if you are working on the sofa. I probably shouldn't be working on the sofa, but if you are, just make sure you don't get your hands on there too. So if you are doing this at home with younger ones, make sure that you're doing it in a place where there's no fabric around. That can get messy. Mind you, if it's poster paints, I think it could come out, but I'm not going to encourage that. So I've just put a bit of paint onto my lid, which is now my palette. I have been quite limited to the colours I have. I only seem to have the red and the blue, but feel free to use whatever colours you want at home. Annoyingly, I don't have any green, so my leaves are going to be a different colour, unfortunately, when I do my leaves. So I'm going to show you how to do little animals first. When you're doing it, make sure you try and get it into this part of your finger, and it might take a couple tries before you get it correct. You want the consistency to not be completely solid like this, so it might work a bit better with some of the poster paints, just because they're a bit thinner, but just mix it with some water, but not too much water, or else you won't get any detail on your finger. And this is why we need the tissue paper. So if you just very carefully get some on, so it's kind of like that amount. Also, my fingers are really tiny, so when I was doing it, I don't think I was, when I first tried it, I wasn't using the whole finger. So make sure you do that, not just the edge, because there's another technique I'm going to show you later on, which means that you can just use, for smaller details, using your finger. So if you just press that on, there you go. I'm going to press it on again somewhere else. So I'm just doing a few different things that I can do later. Okay, so then you'll see after a couple times of printing, it will obviously come a bit thinner. So just dab a bit more on. And then, so just simple fingerprints can make these really cute little ladybugs and a little mouse, which I'll show you later on. To make the bird as well, so this is going to be a bit of an odd scene. The mice and the ladybugs are all going to be flying in the air, and the birds are going to be perching on a little twig. So I've just drawn my little twig scene. So I'm not so sure where the mice are flying, but I know I can do some little mice on the floor. That'll make a little bit more sense. So there's some mice on the floor. Just put some mice. There we go. We've got so these are going to be some ladybugs, and these are going to be mice eventually. To do the birds, if you just make a body like the ladybugs, and then if you use your pinky, like I was just saying before, and position it just above, then he's got a little head. Oh, sorry. He's got a little head and the body. So I will do another one. So body, and there we go. That one was a bit better, and there we go. So these are going to be little birds either on a branch or on like a telephone line or something. That will be one of my scenes, my second scene. So I'm going to leave this to dry and then come back to that. Just be careful as well if you are, as I'm doing multiple things, just be careful that you don't get your paint all over the place. Like I said, I'm on the sofa. It's not a good idea to get red paint on the sofa. I'm going to show you some different techniques now of flowers, different flowers that you can make. So as I said, I don't have any green paint, which is a bit annoying. That will be the first thing I buy when I can go to the shops again, will be green paint. So probably not, it'll probably be like more cat food or something. But actually I can buy that still. So I'm gonna do, like I've done here, I'm gonna make some stems. So I'm just gonna draw some lines. And my flowers are gonna come off of these stems. So I'm going to show you, this first example is just layered fingers. So you might want to do a bit more detail on here. So I'm doing a few more stems. So there you go. I've just drawn a simple stem out there. And then what you want to do is like before, you want to get your finger. And then what you want to do is do it multiple times around the same space and overlay it so it looks like multiple petals. Oh my gosh, I've just used way too much water. Okay. So there we go. So that's the start of it. Then if you build it up, it'll start to look like a cluster of flower petals or flower leaves, or in this case a lot of berries. And then I'm going to do some over here. Obviously don't make it too watery or else you won't see the indent of the fingers, and then don't make it too thick or you'll just literally get splodges. Do a few more here. So there we go, we've got some little flowers in a cluster just there. Okay, another idea that you can do, oh man, see, that's why you've got to be careful. If you're using the pen at the same time, got to keep it upright. So I'm going to show you how to do this kind of like spiral of flowers. So if you just draw out your kind of spiral, so like that, little spiral of flowers. And then we're going to do what we did for the bird's head. To get a bit more detail, we're going to use the pinky. So pinky, and just put them on the edge. Like that. You could do some smaller ones, so there's just the beginning of it. You could add some smaller ones onto it, so little stems coming in. Oh, slip my pen. There we go. So I've done some smaller ones, so it adds a bit of, what's the word? I can't remember the word now. Anyway, it just adds a bit of layering to it there as well, with the different lengths of the stems. And then I'm going to show you how to actually, if you want to do flower petals. So like here, I've done quite a swirly looking thing. I'm going to do that again. So just swirly. Do some swirls in between there. Might put some stems coming off. Like that, okay? So I've just drawn a kind of, oh, I'm pointing at the wrong side. There. Then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to have 5 petals. So you have to turn it round, like stamp, 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 but make sure it's quite, the stems are pointing out, not the stems, the petals are pointing out quite a bit. So I'll just show you the first 2. So stamp and then stamp. If you can see, there's quite a distance between them. Stamp, stamp, and stamp. Then we've got a kind of basic flower pattern going on there. I'll just do another example for you, just a few more. So do it in like a circle, stamp. You can rotate your paper as well if that makes it easier. Stamp and stamp. And I'll do one more as well. So stamp, 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 and stamp. You can do more than 5 if you want, but I just think 5 looks quite a nice sort of colour. And then I'm going to show you what you can do if you want to add more detail to these and have double colour on there. I'm just going to show you another basic one of those 5 stem stamps. Oh, I'm going to do that again, that was too watery. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So they're just the 5 fingerprint basic flowers, and I've done a bunch of them here. I'm going to come back to this one in a minute once this has dried a bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip back over to my animal page, like so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add things to my little creatures. So the ladybugs are really easy. All you need to do is, now that it's dry, so these are the ones which are going to be flying, just draw a line at the top, like that. Oh, can never find it on here. There. Draw a line down, so it's almost like a T shape. Add some little dots. And if you want to add some little antennae as well, so we've got some little ladybugs. And then I'm just gonna quickly finish these ones off for you. So we've got a little animal scene of flying ladybugs and some birds and some mice on the floor. Okay, so just showing you that again. Cross his head, make a T, add some dots, add some little antennae. There we go. So we've got some flying ladybirds going on. Next, I'm going to do the mice. I think these are super cute. If you have a look there, little cute miceies. So what you want to do is give them a tail. So just a simple tail. And then you want to give some little eyes, a little nose. You just can do dots, that's fine. So if you see there, little dots, little sort of like circles, semicircle, like little circle ears, as you can see there. And then you can give him some whiskers as well. And oh, there you go. They're really cute. I like the little mice. Okay, I'm going to draw them again. So we've got the scene going on. Little ears and a little tail. Little tail, some ears, dot eyes, dot nose, and some whiskers. Little ears, tail, dot eyes, nose, and some whiskers. So there we go, we've got a lot of mice and a lot of ladybugs, and now we're going to do some little birds. So, okay, with the little fingerprint, little pinky print, I just want you to add a triangle beak. So I'm going to add them all on to these little birds. So we've got triangle beak going on. Just can give them a dot eye. Obviously, if you want to give more detail to your little animals, of course, that's fine. Like that. Then I'm going to give them some little legs. So I've just done like literally just a few lines. Look like that. So he's standing on the little let's call this a telephone wire. And then we're going to give him some tails, or them some tails. So just kind of like a fork almost sort of shape, as you can see. So just like an M sort of shape, and then bring it up. So and then bring it up. Okay, so there we go. We've got a little scene of some fingerprint animals, some ladybugs flying around, some mice on the floor, and some birds. So going back over to the flowers, back to our flower scene. With this one here, that I've done the basic 5 fingerprint flower, I'm then going to mix up another colour. As I said, I'm very limited to colours, which is kind of annoying, but I'm just going to mix the red and the blue together so that it kind of, with a bit of a purpley colour, the red will be blending in a bit nicer than just having solid red and blue. So it gives it just a, with I suppose the red colour in the purple, I suppose it like just makes the tone a tiny bit nicer. So lovely. And then just use your finger, what do you call it, pinky, to then just go in the middle of your flower. And then you've given it a little bit more detail in there. So if you wanted to do it again to these ones on here, I'll show you that again. So I'm just gonna use my pinky and go in the middle of your 5-finger flower. Done it slightly darker this time. But you can layer over things as well. So, for instance, if you wanted a few, so there's my darker bit in the middle there. If you wanted, for instance, a few more petals in this cluster of petals in a different colour, you could layer it over the top. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. So just go over a bit more, and it just gives a bit more depth to the picture. Ooh, bad mixing. It just adds a bit more colour as well, because at the moment we've just got the red and my felt tip pen. I'll do one more. So there we've got a bit more colour to it and a bit more depth. And now I've got really messy fingers as well. So I hope you enjoyed that, and as I said, remember, if you are working on your sofa, don't touch the sofa. Now's a good time to dunk your fingers in the water once you've finished it, and clean your hands with that toilet paper I got before. So tomorrow we've got Magdalena, who'll be doing bugs. So that was quite a good thing, because you've already started to see how to do bugs. So you can continue looking at bugs tomorrow. And also at 4 today, we've got Catherine, who will be joining us for our artist takeover on Artcore gallery website. So see you in a few days. Hope you guys enjoyed learning how to do different techniques with your fingers. Get messy and give it a go. And if you have any pictures that you want to send in that you've done from home, please send them in, because we love to see what you've been doing. See you later. Bye.